Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, so before we get going here, I want to do a quick map overview just to kind of show you where I'm at, what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is kind of backtrack just a little bit, right by the Great Abandoned Mine here. There is actually a treasure chest here I'm interested in, since we're on the topic of, crystallized charges. And there's also a treasure chest of interest down here. From there, I'm going to do a little climbing and get up top side. There should be a Hinox right around here somewhere. And for now, that'll get us going. Actually, there's a light root tree due south of that Hinox. I'm not sure how far down it is, but that'll kind of get us in the right direction. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go back toward that other treasure chest there. So we just got done with Master Koga. We just got ourselves a grip of crystallized charges. And folks, since we're kind of on the topic of, crystallized charges and all that, this is going to be more of a fun video. I'm really just kind of going around getting some crystallized charges. So that being said, we're going to hit a Colgera. We're going to hit several Frox, boss-type enemies. And if I was being a real responsible adult, I'd probably go ahead and warp back to Lookout Landing, talk to Josha again, wrap up that whole A Mystery in the Depths quest. And from there, I would probably, go to Haunt No Village and take care of my Sheikah Slate, Puripad. But, I just don't feel like I'm just not really feeling responsible right now. The heart top off here. Alright, so to get to that treasure chest, it's actually right above my head, but can't exactly ascend here, so I like to go over here a little ways. And there is an ascend point. Lots of pose around. I just don't like going out of my way for like one. So, I usually only grab those if they're on the way. Alright guys. Crystallized charge at our service. Okay, so that's where he's at now to make, shorter work. Alright guys, from here, I will go ahead and head south. And before I go, up or across that land bridge there, and you can actually see that land bridge on the map. So we're pretty high up here right now. Oh, and while I'm down here, I'm going to loot this mine as good as I can. There should be quite a lot of Zonaite nodes down here. Actually, any mine has several of those nodes you can get after. Okay, another thing about these mines is they usually have a charge you can grab. Oops. And rock hammers. And if you don't have a rock hammer already made, you can usually make another one. Now, I think I'm okay on rock hammers. At least for the time being here. Alright, so there's your second piece of the miner's set. Okay, there's a couple of alcoves there. Now for these walls, I like to throw a couple of bombs in there. It just feels like you're going to be in there swinging, swinging away all day. If you're trying to use the rock hammer method. And Savagelinal bow, sometimes that'll do good also, but you're wasting your bow doing that. Just keep that in mind. But sometimes when I'm in, lazy or I'm in a hurry, I'll just do it that way. So speaking of rock hammers, great opportunity to get myself a new one. Oh, they're broadswords. I thought maybe I'd get a claymore up here. I guess not. But you know, that boulder is awfully enticing. And I do happen to have a durability up that I could care less about. So why not? Okay, now there should be more alcoves than that. In fact, I think I see another one now. So I know there's 3 good ones in here. And then there's one, like, right above it somewhere. Okay, that's the minecart track. And I know, guys, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
Go ahead and light our world up here just a little bit.
Yeah.
I should be able to find that other... There we have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I didn't want to do that climb, I could have just, you know, simply warped back over to the light root tree and just hoofed it over. But, you know, I didn't mind burning the stamina, so here I am. Okay, we got a stanchion here. Now, you're only really going to find travelers and soldiers in this area. Oh, and there's our Hinox. Whoops, I almost woke him up with that one. And I just remembered saying in my last video, be careful not to throw light root seeds, or whatever those are called, light bloom seeds, too close to the Hinox, otherwise you'll wake him up. And I think this is another red. And notice he's got a leg guard, so this is kind of awesome. I want to show you guys this toenail trick. You know, it's kind of hard to say it. It's easier to demonstrate it. Okay, so right up against those toenails there, where it's nice and stinky. There you have it. Leg guard or not, he is good as dead. Okay, and we need the Hinox horns anyway, so I'm kind of glad I'm finding these guys. There we go. Well, that works good for a burner bow, I suppose. Okay, now, you know, they kind of alluded to following the statues for quite a while now, but... Wow, he really tossed that broadsword out of ways. I almost ran right past it. Yeah, it's tough to pass up. As long as I got one good weapon for a thunderstorm, I'll be okay. Alright guys, from here it is due south. Right toward that pin I placed, you know, a bit ago. Let's see what he's holding. Looks like a soldier's broadsword. You know, just out of curiosity, I want to see if that's attack power upped. This is me, pretending that that wasn't just long throw.
Yeah.
Alrighty guys, moving on back down to the south here. What was that? That might have been a goodie there. Me and my shiny rocks, I know.
Yeah.
But you know, this is a fun video, so it's all good. Okay, chillin'. Oh, that rock hammer did not last very long at all. I knew they had a short lifespan, but wowzers. And in case you're wondering, these Zonaite nodes, they do respawn in time. So, you know, if you find a cluster of them like that, feel free to mark your maps. And, you know, you can periodically kind of go back around, you know, circle back through or whatever, and scoop them back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright guys, now, since I've got my auto build, I want to take just a moment. What is that? Traveler Sword. I want to take just a moment and show you guys some auto build stuff that I absolutely build and then, you know, rely on. So this is another reason I like to keep a bunch of extra Zonaite around. And guys, it's such a simple thing, but you would not believe just how frequently this will come in handy. So, just a real simple 90-degree deal here with, you know, 2 of these long pieces. And I like to use cement, so that's why I take advantage of these down here in the depths. So now I use this for many things, but for one, it only costs 6 Zonaite to build that. So I can actually, you know, build a plane in a... let's see if we have any rockets here. Oh, goody. Okay, so that is going to go right into auto build. Now, you don't have fans on this. Again, you know, this is for conserving Zonaite. But, you know, sometimes you can actually just launch these things, you know, in different places. Like if you're on top of a cliff or something, you know, all you need is the wing and the rocket there to get you going. But if you don't have that luxury, you know, you can also do it this way. So, yeah, auto build. I'm definitely going to favor that plane. I'm definitely going to favor that 90-degree bend. So now in addition to, you know, launching a plane, say in a storm, you know, it's raining and you really need a campfire, bam, you can throw some wood down and you can get yourself a good, reliable campfire. In addition, a cooking pot. So, you know, sometimes, guys, you're in a, you know, it could be a rain situation, it could be a leaky cave. Anywhere there's water dripping down, you can use this for cover. In addition, you know, sometimes when you're trying to get an ascend point and you're just out of reach, I also will put one of these down for this reason. You give yourself a little bit of a boost, and then, you know, you can hit your ascend point that way again. It's only costing you 6 Zonaite. So now in addition to this, if I had one more long piece, so now what I could do is auto build that. And if I really need to get some altitude, I will spend the extra Zonaite to craft this. Okay, that's good enough. And once again, I will save that sucker. Now, at some point in the game, the schematic will kind of give you something like this. But, you know, I don't know where that is or whatever, so I just kind of use this. It's only, you know, the 4 pieces, which I think that's the same as the schematic. But this just kind of works as a quick elevator. This really gives you some altitude here. So you can use this for a number of things, you know, getting an ascend point above you. You can use that as a launch point for some bow and arrow time. Just a number of things. Did I say 16? It's 12. It's 3 per piece. Okay, so from here I'm just going to go ahead and mosey on down toward the south, and sooner or later we'll be hitting that light root tree.
Yeah.
It's like they wait in line for you to, you know, pick up them and throw them. I think it's pretty funny. Okay, we got that tree with the boils on it. That's your bomb tree. And right in front of me, you'll start seeing some stuff come into view. Okay, so my marker wasn't exactly accurate, but it wasn't terribly far off either. Alright, so there we have it. Now I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Now I mentioned the statues that the game tells you to follow. Now, if we were to keep following the statues, we'd wind up down here somewhere in the Gerudo area. And guys, we're going to do that, absolutely. But for right now, I'm going to kind of go another route. Reason being is, if I'm going to be in the depths in the Gerudo, I want to have those weapons broken. So we have not been to the desert yet to be able to do that. For right now, I'm going to kind of backtrack just a little bit. We're going to hit this Yiga hideout. There will be another schematic. Also, keeping in line with our crystallized charges, every Yiga hideout has a crystallized charge and a schema stone. There's going to be a chest here we can scoop up. I think that one's a large charge. Not crystallized, just regular. And then I don't have the map going out there yet, but there will be another. I'm going to try to get this one. So there's a Colgera down here, and that's that blue Lionel, or it's a silver now in my game, I think, or white. And it's just to the left of that, and then south of this waterway. So probably right about there, so there's a Colgera. And right to the right of there, as you can see from my upper map, there's a shrine, a light root tree. See, I'm going to kind of go back, hit that bam, bam, bam. So there will be a frog kind of like right next to the lake. But to the left of that. So that'll get us close. Then there's another one kind of south of the lake. And that'll get us close. So a couple of Frox. And that'll, you know, we'll hit those on the way to that light root tree. Actually, that's a pristine Traveler's Claymore. I have absolutely no comment whatsoever about the fact that that was just long throw. This is me, just not talking about it. You know, I could be taking advantage of my stealth suit while we're here. It is nighttime, and nighttime does apply to the depths. Woohoo! So same hours, guys, whoops, as being on mainland. I know we're down here and you can't see the sun, so it's kind of confusing why they still, you know, that they kept to that. I guess that way you didn't always have super speed down here. But, yeah. So, here is our Yiga hideout. Now, I'm looking for... I should be able to see this from the map. Looking for a build stanchion right there. Of course, I can't pin it. Alright, this is definitely something else I'm going to have on auto build. Is a triple-decker spring. Because, guys, this thing really launches you. So, you know, 3 Zonaite per item. It costs, 9 Zonaite to build this. What is happening here? 9 Zonaite to build that, so it's not bad. Alright, so now that we got our super duper launcher here. Alright guys, so this is going to be our very first, whatever, Yiga hideout. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to find a stone around here somewhere. You know what, I've had enough of these guys. If you don't want to be chasing them around forever, you can use a spear. And that usually has the reach to peg those guys. Or you can just stand there and wait for them, launch themselves at you. But, oh, hello. The spears are so much quicker. Of course, I never see a rock lying around when I want to make a rock hammer, so that's always super frustrating. Okay, so getting back to what I was saying about this being our first Yiga hideout. Now notice that guy right there. He's got a halo around his body. And notice the other guy didn't. Notice he doesn't have a halo. He's not on a plane, he's just on a thing. But, regardless of what they're driving or flying, you're looking for the one with the halo. Reason being, that's going to be your gatekeeper, so to speak. In order to be able to get in the door here. So all the Yiga nests are exactly the same. They might be configured differently. They might have different barricades or, just whatever builds. But the basic way they work is the same. You're going to get a schematic, you're going to get the crystallized charges, and you're also going to, have to kill the guy with the halo in order to be able to access those chests. Alrighty. Oh, come on, Link. Figure it out, brother. So now I know I got that other bad guy down below. I'm just making sure there's no... most of the crates in any kind of Yiga or forge, for that matter, is gonna, a lot of times contain bananas. Mighty bananas or, light bloom seeds, etc. And also killing the Yiga themselves will drop the bananas, rupees, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see these things laying out in the open, Sunday-lions, bananas. So I always like to really kind of fine-tooth comb these. I'll walk around in a big circle, just make sure I'm scooping everything up, because they are free. There's some more lore there for you if you want to read it. Okay, there's that bow I was talking about. I think it's a duplex bow. Yeah, so just, curiosity killed the cat. I am gonna... See, I'm just really curious to see if that'll do the job on those Zonaite walls. To see if, the 2 bomb arrows back-to-back do it, and then that way you're not wasting a Savage Lino bow. The only way to find out is to try it, so... It's for science. Okay, got yourself a cooking pot there if you need it. That must have been where the first Yiga died. So I shot him off his airplane. Okay, now this is the schematic we just got. And guys, this is one of those silly schematics I don't use, because it's really tough to control. Not only that, that laser beam in front is really kind of a waste, and I can't rip it off of there, because that was a pre-manufactured build. But, you know, I probably wouldn't normally drive around with that on just to save battery. Yeah, this thing is just real hard to control. I usually have to kind of pull back on the control stick a little bit, just so you can get the thing to turn decently. Alright guys, I think that's pretty much it for this little spot. Alright, get your large Poe at the top of the mushroom there, and I just heard something else. Ah, there's another... Another cool thing about the depths when you're doing these Yiga hunts is the rupees. You know, 25 here, 25 there, they add up. Alright guys, so from here I'm going to hit this other marker.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's getting dark. Okay, we're about to dip into a mine here, so yeah, as soon as I get down there, I'll light it up for y'all. Oh, perfect timing. Time to... So there's some more crystallized charges, guys. I said large charge, but it was definitely the crystallized charge. I knew there was a reason I wanted to come back here, but I couldn't remember for sure, so... There you have it. Okay, nope. Duplex bow does not do the job. That's sad. Yep, every chance you get with these mines, even if it's not like a big, you know, major mine, it's still worth your time to come take a look for Zonaite. And most of the time you'll find a treasure chest at these anyway, so just all the way around, you know, it's worth your effort. Okay, I know there wasn't a ton of nodes here, so that might be it. No, one more. Perhaps. That's why I like to throw seeds in there, so I know by looking at it. Of course, that doesn't work if you know, throw the thing on the node itself. But I know that I've already been in that little cubby. Alright, guys, I think that's pretty much it for this mine. From here onto our Frox. And guys, golly. Many people have commented, and I keep saying I'm going to mention it in a video, and I honestly keep forgetting because it's not normally my go-to method. But it is a good, reliable method, especially if you know how to aim to get it to, you know, give you a better hit ratio. But those bat eyes for, you know, getting the headshots. So when I do a Frox, or any... I meant to do it on Hinox, and I totally forgot, but I'm thinking about it now, so I'm going to say it now. Hopefully I'll remember to break that out. But the trick to making sure they hit is to aim high. When I first started playing the game and I became aware of the whole eyeball thing, I wasn't hitting a lot of my hits. It was, you know, missing or just, you know, going off in random directions. But I was making the mistake of trying to aim at it, at its head. So once I figured out, you know, by happy accident, that you can, you know, aim high and then they'll swan dive into the target's head, I started, you know, doing that more reliably. And then, you know, I kind of saw the value in that. But unfortunately, I didn't learn that way, so that's why it's hard for me to remember most of the time. It's really just trying to get up this mountain without having to eat a ton of stamina, but there is no way. Oh yeah, so, you know, looking at the trunks of trees, no boils, no little leafy thingies, but there are, like, these mushrooms with mushrooms. I don't know what else to call them. They're these little shelf mushrooms with these, like, little button mushrooms on top of them. So that's how you know you got a puff shroom tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a long ways to get to this Frox, isn't it? I think I'm actually pretty close to him now. There we go. So yeah, my marker is a bit off there. Alright guys, I'm also going to test the duplex bow on this guy, but not before getting him in the head with the eyeballs. And that works for all bosses, guys. You can do this with Lionel's, Hinox, you can do this with... did he just eat my freaking light bloom seed? I think he did. Okay, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, I didn't actually mean to do that, but he was breathing in, so I just kind of... that was a reflex there. Dude!
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so... first things first, I'm going to do a single shot bow. Now, these normally do the trick. But keep in mind, the multi-shot bows will give you more than one... oh, he jumped. Will give you more than one opportunity to hit them. So again, aim above the head, and notice how that thing swan dived. So now it's going to go after the things, you know, because his head's been shot. Now if you're behind him, it's going to go to the closer target, so keep that in mind too. If he's running away from you or he's got his back turned toward you, you know, be aware of that part. It's going to go after those crystals before it's going to go after his head. Okay, so now you saw the single shot bow was not a problem as long as I aimed high. And it takes that swan dive, bam, right down into that head. Now the duplex bow, I want to see if that is going to one-shot one of these. Okay, it does not. So attack power definitely has something to do with it. Clearly. So I'm more or less bringing you guys along on this experiment. This is normally what I would kind of do off on my own somewhere, you know, while I'm figuring this kind of stuff out. Okay. And he jumped again. Okay, so there's my headshot. And you got time to get around to the back. Now that duplex bow is atrocious for attack power. So right now I'm pushing about 1421 or so. And I've kind of lost track of which ones I haven't hit. So it takes 2 shots with the duplex bow, even though there's 2 arrows getting after it. And that one didn't even bust, so it doesn't even happen in 2 shots. It happens in 3 shots. Oh man, I killed him. Okay, but if the Savage Lino bow one-shots it and the number of arrows don't matter, then it has to do with the attack power, but if that's the case, then my bone attack up should have worked with this bow. But it took 2 arrows. Yeah. Okay, we got another Frox coming up. I'm gonna kind of run that again. And I'm getting close. This is actually where I put my pin. There he is. Now this one's got gloom. So this kind of trickies this fight up just a little bit. But you know, same rule more or less applies. If you want to do the headshot thing, you know, just make sure you aim high. And you know, you got to be kind of close to him when you do this, by the way, because if you want to mount his back, you know, you got to be there. So I know I don't have the flowers now. Oh, and by the way, you can also... You know, you don't have to walk all the way around back to the tail. You can climb up as you just saw me do with his arm. Tell if that node busted. It didn't. Wow. Okay, so yeah, attack power definitely... Okay. I'm gonna try it again. So that must be right on the cusp of what it takes to one-shot those crystals. Oh yeah, neat trick. You can also shoot a bomb arrow into his mouth while he's inhaling. You don't necessarily have to toss it. I'm not one-hitting it. Nothing else to see here, folks. Wow, did you see the damage that bow just did, though? Holy cow. I just can't remember. I remember doing it one-hitting with a bow. I could have sworn it was, you know, my dragon bone, but maybe it was the Lionel bow. Maybe I'm just not remembering that right. And see, I keep forgetting, too, when Link isn't wearing the Barbarian armor, it didn't do it in one shot. With the Barbarian armor, that's not just 96, that's 50% plus that, so that would be 140 or something. So yeah, I just totally... That's a massive difference in bows there. Okay, but I wanted to play with this one more time. Or maybe I was Gibdo boning it. That, but you know, that's what it was. I'm a freaking genius. I was using Gibdo bones. That's how I was one-shotting those things. Okay, but I really want to see now what just the power of the bow does. What is that, about a fifth of his health or so? Yeah, it's going after the crystal now. Yeah, that really knocks it out of him. Wow. It actually did better than the Savage Lionel bow, which is confusing. Maybe not all three hit the headshot. Or maybe I was just using the eyeballs. So this would be a good deposit to mark. Not only do you have the Frox right here, but you also got some gemstones. Okay, so continuing on our merry way. Right to that yellow marker there. Alright, now we got our map. Now things are so much easier to... There's a Stone Talus. I'm having trouble remembering where it is. I want to say it's down there, but that's not right. Might be up top side here somewhere. One right there. I'll check that one on the way over to that Talus, you know, assuming that's actually where it is. Wow, that tree was a gold mine of mushrooms. Okay. Wonder what's down there. Might have to go investigate that. Oh. Since we're on the subject of, you know, demonstration here. It works for Stone Taluses too. I wasn't wearing my bone attack up suit, so I didn't do a ton of damage there, but you get the idea. Yeah, so pretty much all boss type enemy, actually any enemy, this eyeball thing works on. But just remember, guys, you gotta aim high. For whatever the reason, if you try to aim at the headshot, or, you know, to the sides a little bit, or down, like I said, I was just having a devil of a time. Uh-oh. I was just having a devil of a time getting those to lock on, so it's just super frustrating. Oh, come on. But I notice every time I aim high, I've got almost 100% hit rate. If it's not 100%, it's awful close to 100%. Okay, there's our Colgera. You can already kind of see it off in the distance there. I always go out of my way for the bats. Well, I didn't think I hit on that one, did I? Wow, it's an awful long way back up here. I don't think I want to find out what's down there that bad. Ah. I do kind of have a straight shot to Colgera, and I don't have to do a ton of climbing. I feel like having a little fun. Why not? Or what color he is. Can't really tell. Whoa! Who's blowing stuff up? Alright, so all in all, I don't know if it was really worth coming down here. Yeah, I got a good bow out of the deal, and yeah, there was that boss Bobkin, but beyond, you know, that stuff... I could have done without coming here.
Yeah.
Okay, so our Colgera is back that way. And it's okay if you're, you know, not above him. There's always an updraft. Alright, now somebody reached out, and I think this one came from Sean RF. And said he liked to just skydive through these things. And honestly, I'd never thought to do that. I just always used bow and arrow. But I did notice, and I think I even demonstrated this in my video, that, you know, you don't take damage when you land on him. So that must be why. You just kind of bounce around a little bit. So yeah, I guess as soon as he's done shooting his things, then you can, you know, just skydive. Pow! Yeah, that works. Huh. So that was the first time I really ever attempted that. So pros and cons, and I just like to think out loud here. Pros, you don't have to use any of your... Whoops. Oh wow, he just one-hit me. You don't have to use any of your bows and arrows. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a pro. Con, you're kind of, you know, putting yourself in harm's way to a degree. I mean, those things he shoots off his back aren't terribly difficult to dodge. Con would be, it kind of, you have to wait for him to despawn, respawn. So I guess I paraglided into his second belly there, because I don't remember skydiving through that one. Wait, that's broken already? Yeah, you have to shoot the bow 6 times, you know, Savage Lionel bow, but, you know, they're easy enough to get. Like, I'm not super concerned about that. Don't get me wrong, this is cool. Yeah, wow, the paraglider, it does absolutely damage those ice crystals. That is crazy. So I just accidentally happened to fly up through his belly. So wait a minute, I wonder if his... Oh man, he got me again. I wonder if his back is shielded if you can do that from underneath. Ah man, he gets away from you, doesn't he? Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, getting from, you know, coming up from under him and breaking the bellies that way with the paraglider, that's tricky. If you're gonna do anything, it's easier to do the dive. Of course, you gotta aim, right? Ah, man, I missed. Yeah, plus it's taking a lot longer. Ah, nuts. Okay, that fight took a lot longer than it normally does, but you know, when I'm experimenting like that, it tends to. And you know, that being my first time doing the dive method, and then finding out by total accident you can use the paraglider. Yeah, I would want to work a lot more on that and fine tune them. But you know, the diving thing, it is fun. Got to be honest about that. I never thought to use Link as the projectile. Pretty wild. Alright, so this thing, guys, it's just as good as any silver enemy tipper. You know, it's 35 or something. So, you know, attach it to a weapon tip if you'd really like to. I don't really think I have anything to attach it to. Actually, yeah, I could. That'll save me a silver bobkin horn down the road. Unfortunately, that doesn't have the power of ice in it, which is really confusing. Alright, guys, I'm looking for my treasure chest. And there we have our crystallized charges. So I'm going to pretty much conclude the video at this point. Again, this was more of an experimental video for me. That's kind of like why I said in the beginning, fun video. And, you know, I wouldn't be doing a whole lot of commentary. Guys, when I'm really zeroed in on stuff, it's hard for me to talk or even think about what I'm talking about. So, yeah, when I'm, you know, this kind of a video, I'm just going to be real focused. So anyway, you know, that being said, I hope it was still fun. It's just a really different kind of video from what I normally put out. But, you know, I've been asked a few times if I can do that in a couple of videos. Just kind of show how I explore, how I experiment, how I, you know, find things out, trial and error, etc. So I just thought it would be a good idea to do all that in one. Alright guys, so as you can see, we really hit a lot in this video. Lots of crystallized charges. We got, I don't even know what we got. 550, hot dog. So 50 more, we could go get 2 full battery packs on top of the one that we already have, making it 3. That is insane. And we really haven't worked that hard at it. So, you know, 1 more forge even would do the same thing. In fact, I could break off real quick and go to Rito Village. Matter of fact, why not? Since we're talking about it. Okay, now just to show you on the map. Right here where this Korok seed is, that was on top of that piece of land that jets up, we need to go right over there. So what I like to do is just kind of pin out in the water here. And, you know, flying out and over that pin, you'll be able to look back at the land, and you'll see just a little teeny tiny cave opening. That's what you're looking for. Real hard, real, you know, you don't know it's there unless you're really looking for it kind of thing. And guys, there's other loot here too, gemstone node and some, you know, bloom seeds, but just because I know this video's been going on a minute, I'm going to go ahead and get down in here. Now, there should be a light root tree, like, right as soon as we come inside here. Okay, so that's literally all that's down here is this forge. Maybe a few poes, but, you know, beyond that, nothing. Or not forge, mine. I keep saying forge. Because there's always a forge attached to these, so... this one here... Okay, just like any other forge, you get a schema stone. So this is one that I actually have used. I don't use them a lot. But, It is fun, because what you do is you use that, now as long as, you know, you've got the battery power to support all that. In fact, I'll just build one real quick. So normally it's only 3 pieces of Zonaite per piece, so, you know, it should only be 9. But, that battery pack alone costs 9. So, you know, 9 plus the 6 on the other two makes it, you know, what it is. So yeah, this is kind of like just a hovering platform. You know, so if you want some airtime, that battery, you know, it gives you some time. So, you know, you can do whatever you need to up here. Now notice how high up we are. That's another thing. So like if you're trying to shoot enemies from up here with your bow and arrow, you would have to kind of compensate for that a little bit. Because, you know, you can't shoot directly below you. You have kind of a, you know, a limit there. So, yeah, you know, like I said, I have used it. It's just not one you'll see me whip out a lot. Because, you know, we're awful high up here. But, I've actually used these before to get an ascend point, believe it or not. You know, something that was just really high above my head, I whipped that out, and I was able to get up there and get that ascend. So, you know, just different uses for it, but I just kind of wanted to demonstrate that as we go. Now, on the top of every forge, you should find some crystallized charges up here for free. Now, that's with the exception of the Great Mine, or whatever, the Great Abandoned Mine. That one does not, but all the other ones that you find do. So keep that in mind. Not only that, you might find a treasure chest on top of some, oops, on top of some of these. Case in point. Okay, now you can also take a walk on that catwalk down there just below. Also, I'm checking the grooves of these, because sometimes you'll see booty in those areas too. And if you don't want to climb all the way up there, there's actually ascend points you can hit. But not right off the bat. See, it's just out of reach there. But you can climb to that. And then once you're in it, then you can ascend. And you'll have to do that a few times, but that'll get you all the way up there without having to, you know, eat a ton of stamina. Some more lore there to read. Really skimpy on bananas in this one. Okay, and the whole reason I came here... Now let's see what we were working with. 702. Alright, so that's 2 full batteries plus an extra sliver. And guys, we really haven't even had to work that hard for this. So, yeah, you know, the good thing about the mines is you can warp back to these periodically, and, you know, these will be restocked. So, you know, just keep farming that Zonaite. You know, keep going through the depths, killing the boss-type enemies for your crystallized charges. You know, search for treasure chests, get more crystallized charges that way. Every time you go to a new forge and have to fight Master Koga, there, you know, that's more crystallized charges for defeating him. So just, you know, the depths, the depths, the depths. That's really where you get your batteries built. Now, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, at some point I'll be coming back through and following those statues out to those 2 forges that are out here under the Gerudo. Notice it says 6 out of 110 up there under the word monsters. That means I'm good to go. You only need 5. So assuming you got 5 monsters photographed, you'll be able to, you know, get that Sheikah slate completely upgraded to be able to search for items. So what I like to do in the depths is I like to search for treasure chests. That takes me to all sorts of goodies, guys. Large Zonaite charges, large crystallized charges, clothing items, you name it. The depths is usually pretty good for loot. Now, you know, granted, it's going to take you to a chest, and there's going to be a freaking Sunday line in there. And, you know, I hate to say it, but that happens more often than I like to admit. But, you know, I just have a lot of fun just random exploring the depths for that reason. Alright guys, I know that was a really long video. It was really experimental for many different reasons. I wanted to do that Colgera with that skydiving. I wanted to do the Frox, you know, with the eyeballs. And, you know, I'll try to do the eyeballs more, guys. I know I've been saying that a lot in comments, so I'm sorry. It keeps evading my mind when I'm doing my boss fights. But, you know, I'll show them on Lionel's. I'll show them on other things, you know, as I go, as I can remember. All right, folks, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting.